still think that D and Ed have financial interest or financial control of Barber Ford? Okay, that's fine. Because that was brought up, because a little confusion about, you know, the way things had been in the past with D and Ed reducing their time a little bit, coming in 2 days, 3 days, a little bit. And now, effective the first of the year, they've been around here a little bit, but exactly what their roles were. Well, the effective January 1st, with a little bit of luck, a lot of faith, and a lot of money from a local bank, Kurt, Tom, and I, we bought out D and Ed. So they no longer have a financial interest in Barber Ford. We always joke about who, a bank, why does a bank have drive-through windows? That's so a car can visit its rightful owner. Well, we should be, if Barber could move, it'd be going to the bank. We have a payment we make every month, but D and Ed no longer have financial control. Now, that being said, we did hire them as a consultant. We would be foolish and maybe even irresponsible if we didn't use the knowledge that they have. So, in part, we've contracted them for 18 hours a month. Now, we don't have them punching a time clock. We keep joking with Ed that we should have them do that. But it's not 18 hours a month working here at the dealership. It's out. Believe me, we get emails from Ed all the time. We finally have told him, okay, 3 times a week, just put them all together and have them 3 times a week. And then that way they also get to keep their cars as well. So we still do ask them questions and rely on them in advice, looking at financial statements, but that's their role. That being said, people are like, okay, Kurt, Tom, and Chuck, what exactly are their roles? Now, Kurt, I did show this to Kurt. He was a little bit hesitant when I showed him this because there was some confusion or some question about Kurt, Tom, and Chuck. And so I came up with a few pictures. It's not necessarily the 3-headed monster that you see here. Some people think that. You right? Well, then the other one, Kurt said this was Sputton, but it's not this one either. It's not the Holy Trinity. So there's none of that. I said the one that I found that kind of fit a little bit was more like this. Okay? We're still defining our roles exactly. We're still doing the same thing we did every day. Yeah. We're still doing the things we did every day. We are assuming more responsibilities naturally, but we communicate constantly. So as far as everybody always knew in D and Ed, if somebody had something, they went to D or they went to Ed. If you got an answer from one, it was pretty much concrete from the other one. That does still stand. Okay, we do communicate. If you have an issue, if you have a problem, go to your department manager. If that, you can also come to one of us. And it might be an answer that we can give you immediately, but it might be something that we need to talk about with the 3 of us. We do meet, you've probably seen it, Tuesday mornings we meet off-site so we can talk about some different issues, some different things uninterrupted. We do meet and we do that. So sometimes it's things that are discussed there. Sometimes we'll meet during the day and just iron out a few issues. So we do have a plan in action and what we're going to do. But as far as our roles, we're still defining them as we go. But you're not going to see a lot of things change on a day-to-day basis. Speaking of change, are we going to change? Yes. Is it going to be big, drastic changes? In some areas, yes. In some areas, not so much. It might not even be anything that you notice about change. But it's not necessarily how we do things. In some instances, it's going to be why we do things. You talk about, everybody knows what we do here at Barber Ford. We sell and service vehicles. We want people to know, and we want these people to know so other people can know why we do things. Okay? One thing we have is, and I'm plagiarizing a speech that I've seen a few times, and it's this little circle, and it's why, how, and what. And I apologize for those in the back if you can't see. Everybody knows what we do. Everybody here knows what we do. Everybody out in the public community knows what we do. We sell and service vehicles. We sell and service Fords, other makes and models. Most people know how we do it, okay? Selling new cars, used cars. We have a body shop. We have a service department, parts department. Okay, that's how. Why do we do it? If we here do not know why we do it, how can we expect anyone else to know? And so what we kind of want to look at is not what we do, but why we do it. One thing that we came up and that we kind of want to look at about why we do it. We hope, and if you can't read it back, we hope to be a positive part of our community and to bring value to our community by selling and servicing their transportation needs. Now, that being said, okay, 3 things. God, family, community. All right? Those 3 things. Our priorities are God and family. Boom. Enough said. Okay? Why do we do things? One thing that's a little bit different, and we're still working out how to get all the employees involved in this, is Tom Kurt and I have decided every month 10% of the profit, not 10% of after taxes or anything like that, 10% of the bottom line we've taken and we've set aside for a donation. That is going to be our tithe. We're not going to wait until after all the business gets paid for. We're not going to wait and make sure that, we've built up enough cash. We've gotten some emails where there's, before you do this, you should have enough cash. We're taking an act of faith, and it's going to be, bottom line, 10% every month. Okay? Now, we're going to get the employees involved. We don't know how yet, but we're going to get the employees involved in doing that. So why do we do things? We want to be a positive part and bring value to our community. And everybody's going to get involved in that. Okay? That's why we're doing things. That's why we want to do it. We want to give money away. Okay? The more we make, the more you make, the more we can give away. And everybody's going to play a part in that. Okay? It's not just about, money is a scorecard, plain and simple. That's how we keep score. That's how you keep score, that's how everybody keeps score. But it's going to be by giving away that 10%, okay, that's going to make value and have an impact in other people's lives. Now people are like, okay, change. It's human nature. Once you hear change, people are like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right? Change it. We always joke about things at Barber when you see anything, any changes. Barber's very, it's been a very successful business. Everybody does very well. But change is always a little bit, I don't know about that. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Things are on an upswing. Everybody's doing a little bit better. Don't mess. We're not gonna change how we do things really, but it's why we do things. But also, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But when things are going well, that's where we can change and we can do things better. And that's what we want to do. We want to do things better. Okay? So some of the changes might be obvious. Some of them might be a little bit small. It's not what you do, it's why you do it. Okay? It's not what you do, it's why you do it. Now, there's leaders. We have leaders here. We have leaders that are put into a position of power, and we have leaders, those who inspire people. We want leaders. We want everyone here to be a leader. We want them to be a leader here at work. We want them to be a leader at home, in the community. We want to have leaders that inspire people. Okay? Inspire people to do things. It's not my responsibility. It's not about, well, that's not necessarily my job. Okay? You'll see some changes. We want people that want to be here. We want people that want to be part of this team of Barber Ford, that want to have an impact, a positive impact on their community, on the people they work with, on their families. And by doing that, it'll just make it better for everyone. That's what we want to do. We want to have people, we want to have leaders. We have leaders. We have leaders here because of the position they're in. But you can have leaders that no one will follow. And you can have leaders that inspire people. We want people to inspire people. We want people that want to be here. We want people that want to be part of this. And that's what we're trying to do. It's not what you do, it's why you do it. It's going to be a little, I'm going to put it on the board. It's not what you do, it's why you do it. Everybody knows what we do here. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. But do they know why we do it? And hopefully by showing them, everybody will understand that. And that in turn will lead to more customer loyalty. It'll lead to better things in service, in the body shop, in used and new. It's not what you do, it's why you do it. You look, we just had that meeting with, everybody came in, and a little reminder, CEM, okay, that consumer experience movement, don't forget to fill out your surveys, please. It's a vital part. That's the first step in what we're doing. That's a small change. Now, CEM was not something that Ford came and said, here, why don't you guys participate in this? CEM was something that we chose to participate in. And you'll see changes come along because of it. It'll be, and it starts with that survey. So please take the time to do that survey because that will help in the next step. They'll be back May 1st to go over the results of that survey, to find some things. Now, talking to the lady in the meeting, she was like, we'll have some surprises. We will find some things that we didn't know. And I fully expect that to happen with the survey, which is great. But Barber Ford is that much ahead of a lot of the other dealers that have chose to do this because we've been doing employee surveys. We've been doing employee reviews. She was kind of shocked that we had done that. We're that much ahead of the curve. But that being said, that's another point. Look at some of the change coming up with electric vehicles that we're going to participate in. Just, those are small things, okay? But it's all about little things of change. There was a financial commitment to participate in CEM. It's not something Ford said, here, we're going to do this. There was a financial commitment on our part where we chose to pay for it, to have people come in, to gauge what this is like here, starting with the survey, and to try and change that and improve that. So that can only improve. Let's see, what else did I have to cover? Change, make it a change. Some chart large, some small. Selling service. Any questions? Any questions anyone has on anything about what I've just talked about? Some of the changes, some of the not so changes, anything at all? None? If you have some, I know this is, my kids were asking me last night, I was sitting there running over some notes. And they're like, Dad, don't you get nervous talking in front of all those people? I don't like to talk in front of class or anything like this. And I told them, I said, girls, these are the people I work with every day. I am probably more comfortable, and in some ways, maybe too much so, I'm more comfortable in front of them than anyone else. I said, I spend more time with them than I do, with them, with my kids. I'm here during the week, I spend more time with these people. If I'm not comfortable around them and I can't talk to them, with them, I said there's a problem. And you know what? I will make a mistake. I've probably missed some things that I should cover here. Kurt's probably cringing right now on some of the stuff I've said. But you know what? If I have, that's okay. Because you know what? Everybody makes mistakes and that's okay. So if you do have questions, you do have anything you want to talk about, feel free. Kurt, do you have anything you want to add a minute?
No, just if they do have questions, either one of us, you can ask either one of us. I'm glad you brought that. That's the reason it starts with a survey is it's a customer satisfaction movement, customer experience. It's a customer experience movement, and the reason it starts with a survey, if your employees aren't happy and they don't know why to do it, the customers aren't going to know why they did it. So that's why it starts with a survey, and that's really important to get that back. That's it.
So thank you for taking the time to do that survey. And if you need help with it, like I said, don't be afraid to ask.
Oh, and I did get an email from Ed. He gets online to get his emails off his computer. Hey, there's people on my computer. There's people on my computer. So yeah, I had to calm him down what that was about.
Which makes me want to go on there even more and find out just what he has on there. And we're going to do a little investigating. One thing I forgot to touch, I went and saw Tom last night. I'm sure you all heard. Tom was hit by a car while trying to rescue a dog from a burning building.